Well, today's the day. Hopefully we have a little luck today. We're going to get it started. I already had some issues this morning. Before I get to starting it, I left room, well, I had room to get to the dipstick for the transmission. But apparently yesterday when I run the trans cooler lines up under here to the radiator, you can see in the front here, they happen to be right in that little opening I had where I can get to the dipstick for the transmission. So this morning, I didn't want to do it, but I went and cut a small hole in the floor. And you can see the red there for the dipstick. So now it's real easy to get to. I'm going to have to make a sheet metal plate or something to cover it. And I guess I didn't want to, but I'll have to have it where I could pull the carpeting back to check the transmission fluid, because right now I only got 6 quarts in it. It's going to take at least 8, so I got to put 2 more in it. But when you check it with the dipstick right now, it's about an inch over full because, you know, it hasn't been run. The pump's empty. The torque converter's only got a cord in it. So the plan today is going to be to start the motor, and I only want to run it for a couple minutes to make sure I get the pump going, the transmission fluid, checking for leaks. Of course, I want to make sure I got some oil pressure, and if everything works out, tomorrow or the next day, my friend Buddy's going to come up here, and then I'll film it again, but we'll start it again, and then I'll take it out, and we'll try road testing it, see how it goes from there. I went this morning and bought a jug for the methanol, and this little electric pump. I got it Harbor Freight. It was like $11. It pumped that jug out in about 2 minutes. Couldn't believe it. The only thing is it's not long enough to get to the bottom. So I'm going to have to get a funnel and pour the rest of it into the tank. I only put a couple gallons in it first because I wanted to check for leaks before I go ahead and put 5 gallons in it. And everything was good on a few lines so far. We ain't got no leaks. So it looks like we're good to go there. And also this morning, I went and bought an alky starter kit, a squirt bottle and a fire extinguisher. So hopefully we only need the squirt bottle. But let me get this set up on a tripod, and I'll let you see it start for the first time. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to crank it over first. I just want to crank it, no ignition, make sure I got some oil pressure, make sure it cranks over. Okay. Got oil pressure. Let's see if it'll start. It'll be loud. It's running a little rich, barely breathe. And I got a leak. I'm not sure exactly what's leaking. Well, what I think was happening is that back cylinder, the whole time it was running, was blowing pure alcohol out that pipe. And the flange bolts on the exhaust were loose. Because if you look up here, I can show you if you can see this. It was wet up here along this ridge under here, like it was blowing out of here. The head gasket would be down below this here if it was leaking, but the water was coming from up, splaying up in here. So, and you can see on the floor, within about 3 minutes, it's gone. It evaporated. And if it was antifreeze, it wouldn't evaporate in 3 minutes. So I tried to, smell it to see if it was methanol or fuel or antifreeze, but the thing was running so rich, I can't smell anything in here. But it did evaporate pretty quick. So I retightened the flange down, and I'm going to go ahead and check the transmission fluid, see if I can add the other 2 quarts yet, and then keep walking around checking for other leaks. I want to get underneath and check my transmission line fittings, make sure they're not leaking. Well, I come up here this morning, and first thing I did was check for leaks, and I didn't see any. Everything looked pretty good underneath, the transmission, the trans lines. Like I said, I don't see any leaks anywhere. After watching the video last night of what I filmed yesterday, it looks like that number 8 cylinder in the back was just blowing fuel. I'm not sure if it fouled the plug out or maybe it's not firing, so this morning I'm going to pull the plug and check it, make sure it's firing. Because after about a minute of it running, I could see that number 8 cylinder was just spraying fuel. And I think that's what happened, that the flange wasn't tight, because I tried to tighten up the exhaust flange bolts on the number 8, and they went about 1/4 of a turn easy tight. So I think there was just blowing fuel out onto the head right there, and that's what was dripping down. But I'm not sure. I run the water pump a little bit more last night, and like I said, everything's dry. So I think I'm gonna take some fuel out of it, change the nozzles, go maybe down 2 sizes, and like I said, check the number 8 cylinder, see, make sure it is firing and the plug ain't fouled out and working. And I'm probably gonna try to start it again. So let me get to changing the nozzles, and I'll set up the camera and we'll try it again. Well, here we go. Let's give it a shot. I know what happened. I forgot to turn the fuel on underneath the car. Ugh. It didn't take long to run that out. blowing, I don't know, feels like it's blowing water out. It evaporates as quick as it comes out. It's still dripping underneath that cylinder, but it is definitely coming from the pipe. And I notice now on the other side, I'm trying to get this camera on. See, you can see up under here is where it's blowing out. You see the little puddle on the floor right there. But you can see I'm holding my hand. You see the white? It just covers my hand in fuel. And I also noticed that the one back here on this side is doing the same thing. I might have, oh, it's leaking too. It's dripping fuel. You see it right there. You see how cold this thing runs? I could touch the pipes. All right, let me figure this out. Well, I swapped the plugs. I checked them again, checked the wires. The plug's firing, the wires are good. It's just filling up that number 8 cylinder with fuel and fouling the plug out. So I can't go any smaller with the nozzles, or I don't want to, because you know, when I'm running the car at 3,000-4,000 RPMs, I need the nozzles to get the fuel. So that's not really fixing the problem. I talked to Larry Cleary from Roman Roads Restoration. He helped me tune the thing or break it in when I first got the motor back. He said if I bring it up there, he would take a look at it and see if we could figure out what's going on. He's been racing blown alcohol cars for the past 20 years, so if anybody can figure it out or get it tuned up right, it'd be him. Like I said, this is new to me, my first alcohol motor. I got a lot invested. I don't want to take a chance on messing something up. So, as you can see here, I got my trailer here. I'm getting ready to pull it out, pull it up onto the trailer, and I'll let you know how it goes. Well, we made it back from Larry's, and we didn't have much luck. Larry tried tuning it. We spent about 30 minutes on it. Got it leaned out enough, I don't know if you could tell in the video, but started discoloring the pipes. It was running around 160. We leaned it out, and the pipes got up to about 190, and it still blew fuel out the back 2 pipes. So anyway, I got back, got on the phone, and I've been calling Alky Digger. That's the company I bought the fuel injection setup from. But it keeps saying that they're very busy and that they would call you back. Well, I did that for 3 days, didn't hear nothing back. So I called out to a California company called Good Vibrations, who also sells blowers, fuel injection stuff. And Kyle out there was pretty helpful. He told me to check the check valve for the idle circuit, which goes right here. I got it out right now, but it looks just like this, but it sits right here, connecting to this other line. And it was my understanding, everybody says with blown alcohol you run about 5 psi in that check valve, but Kyle says that it's adjustable. The springs, and they make a shim kit. They sold one, it was like 15 bucks. So let me show you here. I went and ordered the kit from them. It came in yesterday. You can see here's the check valve. This piece goes inside here, and then here's the spring and the washer. Well, they make an assortment of springs. You can see right here. They make one that goes from I think it's like 1.5 pounds to 5 pounds, and then the next one goes from, according to this, 5 to 12 pounds. And it tells you on their website the diameter, the length of the spring, and the diameter of the wire. So I mic'd it. This here's the spring that was in it. It had no shims, but it was the 10A spring that goes from 5 to 12 psi. But nobody wrote on here what it was set at. So this spring here, the one I'm getting ready to put in, goes from, it's a 3A, goes from 2 to 5 psi. So what I did now is I had to order a pressure gauge from 0 to 15 psi, stainless steel liquid filled. It goes in half-pound increments. And what I'm going to do is hook it up to my compressor with air regulator and then slowly open it up and then mark down where it opens. This spring here should go between 5 and 12. So this spring is rated from 2 to 5. So without shims, this should be around 2 pounds. I'm going to try to shim it up to about 3.5 pounds, 4 pounds. He told me just to keep lightening it a little. It puts less fuel in the motor. And also you can see here I've been changing jets. I had some 53s, 51s. He told me to start out with like a 46, 47 in the back and then go up 2, then go up 2, and each one go up 2 and gradually go up and see if that helps the fuel problem. So right now I went and ordered the gauge. I also had to order a AN6 fitting to go from here to a 1/4 inch pipe thread to hook it up to my regulator tester. But at least we'll know where we're at. And then I also ordered a infrared temperature gun. So when I get it running, I can keep leaning it out and see if the pipes are even and maybe adjust fuel from the left side, right side, or to the front side. So looks like it's going to be a learning experience. But hopefully I'll get this stuff here in the next day or two, and we'll be able to start it back up and test it. And I hope I'll make a couple more videos. Well, thank you for watching. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hope to get I also ordered some GoPro mounts, so I'm going to be able to mount the GoPro on the car. So hopefully we'll have some more good videos coming up. Well, thanks for watching.